Gosh, don't crash in there. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Finally getting back to do some more tracking with the DJI Air 3S. I'm gonna be riding this cool little scrambler bike I've been reviewing as well, this e-bike. Every single DJI drone that I have tried to get around one of my corners in my neighborhood roads here, it always crashes into this tree. And I know a lot of you guys are wondering if this one with some more of the advanced features, if it will actually crash into that scenario. And in general, I was having trouble with keeping track. So I want to see if that's improved as well. Also gonna like change some of the stuff too. I'm gonna do regular tracking, nifty tracking. That's some of the stuff I haven't done before, is change some settings. Also zoom in a bit, see if that improves tracking as well. So we're gonna do all that stuff in this video, so stay tuned and let's get started. All right, so while this thing's starting up, as you can see, just a little bit of a temporary mount on that's actually the battery of this bike. Kind of looks like a gas tank, kind of a cool little bike. I'll have that in the description down below also. So I just basically double-sided sticky taped a few sections of the controller that were resting on the tank there, and then I just kind of wrapped it with some electrical tape. I just want to show you all the stuff I have on. So I'm leaving it in bypass for now, so that while it's tracking, if that helps it bypass. Bypassing options, we're going to do normal first, then we're going to switch to nifty. I don't know if this is going to help because it just says when controlling via control stick. Also going to turn on this just right away. Aircraft below 6.6 feet of flying. Just in case, give it the benefit of the doubt. If it needs to dodge an obstacle, I want it to go down as low as it needs to. Okay guys, we'll start recording here. I'm recording in 4K 30 frames per second. Drawing a box around me right here. Let's just do active track. Okay, so we're starting out there. I'm going to track from the front. It shouldn't be spinning around right now because I just want it to track from the front. It's trying to get to, I don't know why it's joined to the back, but let's see if it can find my front. And let's also do a close track because there's a bunch of trees around here. All right, let's give her a try. Already going up in the trees, look at that. Oh, welp. Man. Look at that, we haven't even left the driveway and it just got crashed and got stuck in a tree up there. I was really hoping for way more, man. Jeez Louise, DJI. Man, I'm gonna have to get like a ladder out here. Look at that thing up there in the tree. Maybe I can shake it down and catch it. Really don't want to break this thing. I see some cracked propellers and everything. Jeez Louise. Well, let me get this thing down and then we'll replace the propellers and try again. My gosh. Hate to say it guys, but it looks like another one. You're just gonna have to really be careful of trusting its trackability. I do not want this to fall in the gravel. Oh, got it. Oh boy. So, chewed the heck out of the propellers. These propellers gone. These propellers gone. These propellers almost gone. I should probably replace these. They're just really scuffed up on the edge. I should just replace the whole set. The orange tab is already almost coming off. So I'm gonna have to replace every single propeller from that crash. To give it the benefit of the doubt, it is a tree that has no leaves on it, but it just decided to go way around this tree. So you're just gonna have to be careful, man. And just maybe if you're in a close quarter situation, just have it track you from the rear first. Let's try that. Just track from the rear till we get out, you know, out of this clutter onto the main road, and then we'll try some of the other tracking. But gosh, that really was shocking, wasn't it? Lucky I have the Flymore combo because I have a whole crap load of propellers. So many propellers you might not know what to do with unless you have a situation like this. Garbage, 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 And garbage. If you question anything about a propeller, just replace it. Because with a drone that's this price, waste a few bucks on a propeller. If you're not sure, then have your drone fall out of the sky, right? Whole new set of propellers. Let's try that again. All right. Let's track down this driveway. So far, so good. Remember, recording in 4K 30 and just all default settings for this initial little run here. And I mean, I have all the sensors on. You can see on the top right, guys, of the screen on the controller. See that little circle with the up, down arrows? That's all the sensors on, the 360 sensors. Cleaned all the sensors as well before I started this, so. Okay, let's speed up a bit, see if it can keep us in track, make a quick run. 20. Going about 25. It's keeping up. And it's fighting some wind. Okay, slowing down to around 20 now. All right. Yeah, so the wind right here on the road is pretty strong. It honestly feels like 10 to 15 right here. I'm going 20. I'm gonna pick it up, go fast around this corner, see what it does. This is the corner they always crash, but usually when I'm following in the front, this one's following from the rear. Very nice. Okay. No problems yet. Whoops. Look at this. Decided to stop right there. Why? Why did you stop, drone? What the heck? What is there, a UFO in the way? An invisible UFO? Come on, dude. There's nothing there. Whoa, don't crash into that tree, dude. I don't know what that was all about. It could see me, but it didn't want to follow me. Now look, it's getting over there into the trees. Why? I don't know. Still questionable operation with these drones. I don't know. I have no idea why they do what they do. Sensors are perfectly clean. And it's well lit. I mean, there are some shaded areas, but this is how it's performing. All right, spinning around. So now let's do the possible crash scenario, okay? This is the same height that I usually do my front tracking with. Let's let it get situated to figure out what it needs to do. Okay. I don't know why it went so high. I'm gonna bring it down a bit. Kind of where it was before. Okay, right here. So this corner right here, guys, this is where they all crash. I really hope this one doesn't. Here we go. I'm gonna keep it around 15, 20 and watch this. I'm gonna try to keep it in view. Oh, man. All right, well, let's see if it gets out of that. Boy, bro. Okay, well, it got out of that. Yeah, strong environmental interference, I know. So as you'll notice, I still have it in front of me and far. So let's see if it'll try to scooch around me once there's no more trees in the way. I'll pick up the pace a little, get to maybe 15, 20. And let's see if it will try to get around me right here. It kind of opened up. Yeah, see how it's trying to go around the right? Nice. All right, let's turn around. I'm going to bring it in a little tighter. Or am I? Let's let it get around first. Watch out for that tree, dude. Woo! It is trying. Okay, let's go back around this corner. I'm not touching anything. I'm gonna let it do its far follow from the front. And let's see what happens. So far, so good. I really don't want to crash this thing, but if it does, that's what we're all about, is testing. So it went way over there to the left. You can watch its camera. Oh, good, and it's retracking, nice. So I was going about 15 miles per hour around that dog leg corner. And that's even like more than a 90-degree corner, guys. Nice. So you see how it's careful not to get in front of me right now? Because there's just too many trees. I'm gonna switch out to a closer frontal follow. So once it figures out where my front is, there you go. Let's try that again, okay? So same thing. I'm gonna get up to about 15 to 20 around this corner. I'm going 15 now. We're just in the inner tier of follow. And I'm gonna take this corner right around 20. Let's see if it hits that tree again. I'm trying to keep my eyes on that drone. Oh man, dude. Well, you know what has gotten better is the retract. Look at that. That's awesome. So retracking has gotten much better. It's trying to get around me, but there's a lot of environmental interference. Probably gonna wait until, let's just see, let's see. It's sensing trees, going 15. It should try to get around me right here. Yeah. It's got a clear opening. There's that bad boy. Let's see if it crashes into this tree. This is where the Mini 4 Pro just nailed it. Oh man, that was close, but it didn't hit it. Okay, improvements. I was expecting it to hit that. I slowed down to about 10, but I was still going between 10 and 15. So, now I'm just gonna floor it around this corner, going 20. Let's see if it can keep up. Remember, it still is gonna try to get in front of me when it can. Let's see how fast we can move. Whoa. So it has lost track. I need to go get this thing. So still, man, just still these little problems, you know? Well, yeah. Boy, he totally went out of everything. That wasn't really expected to lose me that easily. Let's try another track. From behind and farther away, okay? We'll turn back, we'll go up the road here. Oh, you're getting in the trees already, buddy. Whew. Okay. So, lost me a couple times so far, but I'm not that bad. I mean, I still would have expected a little better. What we'll do is we'll zoom in. If it doesn't crash and doesn't break itself, after we get up this corner one more time, we'll change some settings, okay? Man, come on. Look, it's losing track, but it sees me. I don't know why it doesn't want to refollow. That's strange to me. Maybe that's something in the settings. So right there, it just picked me up and wanted to follow me again. All right, at least it didn't crash in that tree. I guess I could try sport. What if I just switch into sport on the fly? Well, I just switched into sport and I still see all the sensors on there. I don't know if it'll really go into sport though. But let's just see if it maybe can maintain track a little better. The algorithm seems to be a little better now for anticipating the follow and the retrack. So I'm just flooring it now, going 22 up this hill. See if we can get a little faster. See if it eludes us again. 25, 26. And there it goes, man. Like above 20, it just gets a little bit risky. So coming back, is it gonna see me there? No, see, so it quits its auto track almost like too soon. At least it didn't crash into that gnarly tree around the corner. So they are improving that algorithm. Even though you see how the sun, there's shade from the trees and stuff, they're improving the algorithm to see things. Because every other DJI drone crashed in that tree around that corner. I gotta keep saying that, but that's honestly what has happened. Let's try something here, guys. Let's do a zoom in, like a 3 times zoom. It's gonna stop and start recording again. And that's actually a bit close, but anyway, let's just try. Tracking, active track. And we'll do a front far, since we're so zoomed in. I want it to stay far away. Okay. So we're at the 3 zoom setting. It is using the other camera, the telephoto lens camera. And let's see how it does with this. You can see with my hat cam how far it is away, but since it's using that 3 times zoom, it's showing me pretty close. Okay, going 15 to 20, again, around this corner. It's a bit high, but that's where it wants to be. I'm gonna go around this corner again at 15. Dude, don't crash. Boy, that's just too dang risky, man. Oh, I just heard it hit a couple branches. Don't do that. Note to self, guys. Never do that. I'm gonna push up a little. I think I was still in sport mode too, interesting. I'm gonna slowly push up and see if it can navigate out of these branches. Oh boy. Well, that's closer than it actually is because, you know, remember it's zooming 3 times. Boy, that is such a nice camera though. So I'm just trying to push up to get it out of there, but it's not wanting to get out. Let me go to the left and up. All right. So we'll do the 1x, but we'll zoom in to 2x, okay? We'll do the standard lens, but we'll just zoom into 2x. And we'll come down. At least this thing has a lot of flight time. Honestly, I did hear it nip some branches. So honestly, if you have any kind of encroachment with this kind of terrain, I really would not recommend doing the zoom tracking. Go ahead and follow. Let's do oh wow, it zoomed out to 1.5 times. That was interesting. This is its own zooming. That's trippy. So it's doing that on its own. It went from 2 to 1.5 to 1.2. Anyway, so we're at close track. Let's go farther away just by sliding that thing out of the circle. So it went back to 1 time zoom, guys. Interesting. It didn't want to stay where I put it. That is very interesting. I'm going to try to force it to zoom back into 2. Just with that right roller on the controller, it's trying to zoom back out. Whoa. So it's doing this zoom back out on its own, okay? I'm not doing that. So it went to 1.5. It's now at 1.3. Wow, it's doing a slow zoom back out. It seems like it's settled in at 1.3 times zoom. Very interesting. So it's almost like it has a mind of its own a little bit on how high it wants to go and how much it kind of wants to zoom. You can force it to go up or down on the controller, but in those follow track settings, you can set limits on height and like defaults, right? So let's go a little bit quicker here, see if it, ooh. Gosh, I hate seeing that when I go around the corner and the drone just goes in the trees. I didn't hear any nips or nicks, that's good. But now look, it's just completely goners. It just doesn't want to do anything. There you are. Whew. And that's what's so frustrating is when you're trying to do tracking like this. Gosh, where's the road? There it is. When you're trying to do tracking like this and you know you're in a bad spot, let's just active track from the rear, see if it can get out of there. You know you're in a bad spot on a blind quarter. You really just want to pull your bike on the side, which I didn't, before you do anything like that. At least I can kind of hear the traffic around here. We'll just check some of these settings, okay? So let's go into the settings. Remember it was control, focus track. I might have said something else, but focus track settings, person. So you see the radiuses you can adjust, inner, outer, so you can get really close up to 16 to 32 feet. And then you have your heights. I mean, let's just try, I'm gonna leave those stock and I'm just gonna try fast camera motion. Let's just see what that does. Maybe that'll help track a little bit. So I'm bringing down and I'm gonna put it back to the front. Gosh, don't crash in there. What are you doing? What are you doing? That's somebody's property. I don't know why it chose to go in there, guys. That was a bad idea.
Battery level is low. Aircraft will return to the
Cancel.
home point in 10 seconds.
Okay, so it's trying to get in front of me, but it just doesn't. Gosh, okay, frustration. I'll bring it in close, see if it can navigate through those trees. Get in closer. I don't want it to be in this person's property. That's not smart. There you go. Get out of there. Get out of there. Find a hole. Okay. Okay, so that's the kind of stuff you got to be wary of. So they still have a lot to work on whoa, come on, I have you set to tight. Jeez, what are you doing?
Low battery. Return to home pump.
Oh, God dang it. Man, guys, sorry. Pardon my language, but just in the areas that you think it's going to be having no issues, it does. There it is. Ooh. Boy, look how close it is to those rocks. Oh my gosh. Right on its face in the camera. Oh, let's see the damage. Okay, no arms are broken. This is gonna be a durable dang drone. That front sensor, that little LiDAR type sensor, is kind of dirty. These sensors are got a little bit dirty, but everything looks okay. Camera is not damaged. That one has a nick on the tip. This one, both tips nicked off. This one, both tips nicked off. A whole nother set of propellers down the drain. And honestly, I think that's gonna do it, guys. Let's get back home and we'll do like a little pros and cons on that whole, we'll just kind of rehash. Remember, I changed it over here to camera motion fast. So that didn't seem to help at all. I don't know what that really is supposed to do, but you'll have seen the video. I think it just missed that rock and that was its saving grace. It just landed in the dirt. Okay guys, so let's do a quick little hash out of everything that went down there today with the tracking test. Keep in mind, this is in my area. This is where I like to do my tests. Obviously, it's going to perform better with barely any obstacles or no obstacles, but that's not what these tests are all about. These tests are about how well it can perform in any environment. For those of you that want to say, it was too hard on it, this is how it performed in that situation. Honestly, I'm not pulling any punches here. And let's get into really what happened. It seems to me like it's gotten better at the basic avoidance, okay? Basic avoidance and slightly better at retracking. It seems like the algorithm to, when it loses a subject and it's kind of tracking the way it was going, it's kind of getting better at that and trying to retrack. So those two things have improved. The thing that is still very strange to me is that it gets lost in the woods so easily. You would think that it can, if it had all these cameras, it would see clutters of trees and just try to stay out of them and go higher. But you saw in several situations, it chose to go down into the nitty gritty to try to get around me instead of just going up and over. So things that they could work on. I mean, obviously, yeah, if you just set it to follow you way the heck high over all the trees, it's going to do better, obviously. Hello. Because then it knows it's above trees and you have this height set above trees and it's not going to have to go into the trees. So in this kind of area, that may be a better option for you, just to make sure you set it above the treetops. But then you can't really get those, close in shots that you want to get to have that safety. So I would really like to see some kind of compromise between when you want it to track you on a wide enough regular road where there's trees on the side, it's not going to run into stuff and crash. That first crash up here by the house, that really tripped me out. It just chose this weird line. Instead of going around and over the trees, it just went right through a gap, and obviously, apparently it didn't see those branches without any leaves on them. So that's the main thing you got to worry about, is still worry about branches with no leaves. That's probably the nemesis of these things. Remember, that was 4K 30, and I'll have been kind of at times crossing between my the controller down here, what that screen record was, so you could see what the sensors were doing and kind of what the on-screen HUD was doing and all the telemetry. A big pro is this thing is freaking durable. Aside from the propellers getting mangled, nothing else is broken on this thing. Definitely more than I could ask for durability. So that's definitely a huge pro to a lot of you guys, is the durability of this thing. I mean, obviously you hit an arm the wrong way, falling down, at some point something's gonna break, you know what I mean? It just depends on the situation. 1, 2 pretty hard crashes, and all we did is mangle some propellers. So that says something right there. Maybe they need a little bit more power in the obstacle avoidance realm on these drones, because they are slowly getting better, but just not leaps and bounds like I thought they would be at this point. Remember the Skydio 2? I know I always bring that up. I still have one too, but they stopped manufacturing that for the consumer market. And that Skydio 2 several years ago could still avoid obstacles better than the current this current DJI drone that is pretty equivalent to it as far as price range. I might do another video for car tracking, but I think that tells us everything we need to know. Remember, we did the 3x zoom in with the other camera to try that. It seemed like it was okay, but we still had the same effects. Lost track it gets in the clutter, gets confused. And then we tried some different zoom levels. It kind of has a mind of its own when you try to do a fixed zoom. Then we tried some other settings as well. I already gave one of these away, and that was a huge prize. Somebody won that one. So go ahead and check that out if you want to. And I will see you guys in the next one. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.